A highway wanders through the desert. A tumbleweed drifts past a dusty dive bar. A coyote shrieks out to no one in particular. Someone's bleeding out in a bathroom stall. The stars tonight are bright, but not nearly bright enough. This place does not exist, and yet, here you are. Welcome to San Arroyo, kindred. We here at Dubious Creatures present to you the vampire with no name. Raleigh, Aster, you mercifully make it to the Three Flags truck stop with no other encounters with law enforcement.
That's good.
It's about the same as when you last visited. It's a truck stop on a busy stretch of highway, so it's never not active, even this late into the evening.
I don't remember if we decided where Toad was going to meet us, but try to remember where we encountered him the first time. Try to head back in that direction.
Yeah. While doing that, Aster is going to keep an eye out for those little gray lizards.
Yeah. Aster, give me a wits plus awareness roll, or potentially wits plus animal ken.
2 successes.
0 successes.
2 successes. You're scanning around. Oh boy. The two of you are kind of scanning around, looking for any of those. Granted, those little lizards, pretty common, just urban wildlife, especially in California. So you're not even really sure what you're looking for, really. Eventually, Aster, you see skittering out from the tires on the rigs, particularly large specimen, maybe like a good 6 inches long from snout to tail.
Damn.
Suddenly just scurries out right at your feet, looks up at you with these beady little eyes, and then scurries back off in a direction.
Do you want to follow it, or should we wait here? What do you think is better? Because I don't know.
Follow?
Okay, follow it is. Let's go. You lead.
Yeah, sure.
You start heading in that direction, and that's when you start to hear the music.
What kind of music?
We're hearing music?
Yeah, you recognize, it's faint at first, but eventually you get closer, you start to recognize the melody. Uptown Girl by Billy Joel.
Lols.
It appears to be emanating from one of the cabs further into this just like essentially maze of parked trucks.
Yeah, try to find where it's coming from, I guess.
No.
Yeah. Not terribly difficult, because only one of the cabs has its lights on. You make your way through the narrow space between two of these trucks, and as you're heading up to that lit interior, you see behind you, sort of blocking out the way you came, this big, burly guy with a stud baseball cap. And you see another one. Not the same headwear, but same burly presence. And another. And another. Until effectively you get 4 or 5 sizable-looking individuals sort of crowding out either exit to this narrow little corridor.
Well, guys, I know I'm real famous and all, but, you don't have to go through this amount of work to get an autograph.
That's when the cab door opens and you see Toad in all of his wrinkled, scabby glory. Well, isn't this a pickle?
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
You say that, but I'll be honest, when you all showed up, I thought you were just a bunch of little baby licks without a clue in the world. But now I know you're a bunch of baby licks without a clue in the world who have stepped in it big time.
Yeah, not exactly our choice.
Really couldn't have asked for a better distraction, though. I mean, that whole freak out, just, I don't know,
We work with what we got.
I can't help but notice you didn't hold up on your end.
We tried, and then
Didn't
the
really
freak out
have
happened.
an opportunity.
Yeah. Freak out kind of happened before we could even make our move.
But you seem so gung-ho about it to begin with. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe you aren't stud material after all.
Yeah, no, maybe we aren't.
So what's this journal really mean to you exactly? Because I'll be straight with you. I nabbed it and I saw some... I don't even know what, but it was intense.
Yeah.
You're all wrapped up in some real shit. Punching way above your weight class.
Yeah, unfortunately, I saw Rocky way too young, and it inspired me.
You got jokes. That's good.
Yeah, well, gallows humor. About sometimes the only thing I got left.
Hey, it'll get you far. I mean, look at me. I've looked like something that got smeared and dried out on the freeway for some decades now, but I still haven't lost my smile.
Gotta hand you that.
But there's only so much I can grin and bear, and one of the things I absolutely hate, just really grinds my gears are people who enter into a business arrangement and just don't deliver on their end.
I know, it's the worst, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we gonna do here?
It sounds like you have an idea, so why don't you just say it?
Yeah, we've had a bit of a night, and I don't know if my friend and I are in the mood to beat around the bush anymore.
Oy vey, am I getting that predictable?
No, I've been in a lot of movies. I know how this plays out.
Blood hunt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Against Masav, the California whirlwind himself. That, my dear, sweet, bouncing baby vampires, is an opportunity that comes along once in an unlifetime.
If you say so.
You're tracking him, ain't you?
In a very roundabout way.
Yeah, that's a cute way to phrase that.
That's what this whole rigmarole was about.
If, tracking him involves putting up a giant fucking beacon to the sky and hope to lure him in, yes.
But you are trying to lure him in.
Against our better judgment, yes.
We're only doing it because we don't really have a fucking choice.
Yeah.
All right. So, new deal. Real simple. I'll give you this all-important journal if, only if, you provide me with his current whereabouts, or anyone else does.
As in, like, his whereabouts right this very second, or the place that we found him at?
Nice try. I mean, where he's at right now. Is there someone who has got the beast on the brain? He seems to have been a mighty adept at avoiding the constabulary, although, based on what I eavesdropped on, shit, I guess dusty old prick like Anselm's got to get it up to something. I'm not one to judge.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we don't know where he is at this second. That's why we're doing the whole, ritual thing.
Light the beacons of fucking Gundor.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Gondor calls for aid.
We can tell you where we found him the other night in exchange for the journal.
No. See, that's gonna fly because clearly, you did find him. He's still everyone's problem. That means you failed big time.
Yeah.
Now the dinner bell's well and truly won. Now, his exact whereabouts is priceless. And you all are in such a prime position to find out. And I imagine the journal will help you do the deed, so to speak, once you do. Now, what you crazy kids get up to, that's between you and whatever passes for God these days, but I just want to know where he's at before the fun truly gets started.
Look, my guy, as I said before, we don't know where he is at this second, but say we come to some deal where he will come to us when we do this ritual. Give you a tip when that happens.
I like you. You're definitely the sort of person who is always trying to find a loophole, and I appreciate that. But fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. He looks back towards one of the guys behind him, and you see they take out an old, battered-looking moleskin notebook. And on the other hand, they have a lighter.
Gonna look at Aster for a second. And my face says I have a bad idea.
Aster, sort of being able to read said bad idea face, kind of cocks an eyebrow in the, what are you thinking?
The idea of, they can't burn the journal if they don't have it.
Of course, there's always the risk that it does get burnt, and then you lose one of the things that you desperately need, not just to solve the Masav problem, but also get yourself and Taylor the hell out of Dodge in orderly fashion. Question is, Raleigh, how done are you with tonight?
I'm really done, and I'm really hungry.
So done. So done.
So, I think it's less a question of if you're going to do it, more a question of when.
Look at Aster with the I have a bad idea look. I turn back to Toad and say, I'm sure you getting in the way of the sheriff will go great. He's kind of on the warpath right now.
Ooh, the sheriff. Scary. You really think anyone in this city is afraid of Masav's sloppy fourths?
Well, who knows? What do I know? I've been doing this for a week and a half. I hadn't met him until last night.
Well, a perfect opportunity to listen to your elders. No.
Yeah, unfortunately, I skipped that day, and that's when I want to activate Fleetness.
Give me the rouse check.
Hunger 5, hello.
The dice have not, in fact, been nice to you. Our fleetness still goes through, so in that split second, as you're able to act before anyone else does, thanks to your rapid reflexes, what do you do?
I rush at this person who's holding the journal, and I want to snatch it from their hands as I somersault over them. Possibly on top of like one of the trucks.
Give me dexterity plus athletics.
And fuck it, we're going to spend one more willpower. There's only one dice I can reroll, but if I can turn that into... It's only 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. You shoot forward. Faster than Toad can react, literally leaving whatever smarmy remark he had in the chamber in the dust behind you, with Aster, as you suddenly realize, oh, this was the bad idea. You effortlessly reach out, almost in as if the rest of the world is in slow motion, grab the journal away from this guy, put one knee into his solar plexus, and as he falls instinctively down to his knees, you use that to put your own foot up on that leg. Jump off, reach up, grab the edge, one of these large freight containers, and pull yourself up one-handed, a feat you probably wouldn't have ever managed in your mortal life without the help of wires or potentially tearing some muscles. And you're on top of it all, the notebook in hand. But that's when something happens. Just as the adrenaline clears, Raleigh, you touch the notebook. Suddenly, from everyone else's perspective, you standing there triumphant one moment, and then your eyes roll back into your head, and you just go, not quite limp, but almost dazed for a second. Aster. Several things are going to happen at once. First one is that you hear a snarl from Toad as suddenly he leaps, clearing a good 5 feet directly upwards, straight towards Raleigh. The truckers are a bit slower to react, but you see them rushing in to fill the space that the two of them just vacated. What are you doing?
Is there a way for me to go underneath one of the trucks and like scoot out from underneath?
Absolutely.
Doing that.
Give me... I think this will also be Dex plus Athletics.
3 successes.
3 successes. You instantly cram your frame beneath one of these flatbeds, soldier crawling your way across the asphalt, even as you hear shouts, curses. Raleigh.
Yeah.
You're somewhere else. You're someone else. The hands that are scribbling in the margins of the notebook that you now carry are not your hands. Rough, calloused, scarred, yet holding this pen with surprising dexterity. Inside of this notebook is a dense tangle of words and phrases and symbols that you, Raleigh Asher, don't understand, but the person whose eyes you're currently staring out of seems to make perfect sense. Some kind of personal code or cipher? Some of those symbols look a little similar to that strange cuneiform you saw in the Church of Cain. You're interrupted by a stirring. Your perspective shifts. Whoever you're riding in the skin of turns around. You can feel this person's apprehension and not quite guilt almost, but sadness. Like they'd rather be doing something else. You can see you're in I think it's a bedroom. You're not sure where exactly. It's lavishly decorated wherever it is. Lots of strange baubles, pieces of metal work, rather. Various different shaped lamps providing illumination. Like an sculpture artist's OCD collection. And a bed. And there's someone's languid form stirring out of it. And you get the sense that this person, Masav, this exact moment, would rather be sharing that bed, but there's too much to be done. There's too much work to be done. Whatever this is, whatever you're so obsessed with in the pages of this book, it's more important than this. It's more important than... And you see Ansem sit up in the bed and look at you. There's an entire world that's communicated in that gaze. But he doesn't say anything. He just says, "Hey." And you hear yourself rumble. "Hey." Your skull hits the asphalt and you're jarred back to reality. As Toad has tackled you off of the rig, over the side, and onto the ground opposite of it. Take only a point of superficial damage, but the impact is enough to send the journal skittering out of your grasp.
Mother.
You still don't seem to get it. His grip is like iron.
I'm just gonna headbutt him.
Strength plus roll.
Another 4 successes.
Get him right in the bridge of the nose, right where you know it hurts the most. You feel a crunch of cartilage. You don't think it's enough to necessarily injure him in any real way, but it's enough to get him to rear back a little, enough to break the grip. What do you do?
I am going to, I necessarily don't want to reverse. I just want to get him off me and rush for the journal.
You both died for it.
Mm-hmm. And just like, I'm really tired of men telling me I can't do something.
Bolt's gonna roll Dex plus Athletics. Let's see who gets there first.
We're rerolling failures. 4 successes.
Unfortunately, you're fast, but he possesses some kind of ability to leap in, well, not an entirely unlike his amphibian namesake, allowing him to cross distances almost as quickly as you. And he snatches it up and rolls away with it as your fingers were centimeters away from it.
Can I see him still?
Oh, you can see him still. He's still fully within your eye line, but he's currently like maybe a few feet away from you, kind of having skidded on his back, journal clutched tight to his chest.
And fuck it, I'll continue letting my momentum carry me and just bringing my fist down on his face as hard as I can.
Strength plus brawl.
2 successes.
Rain down blows. No technique. You're just fully trying to beat his scaly ass into the dirt. Ow! Shit! Fuck! Get off me, you has-been! He plants a foot directly in your chest during the struggle. You got some good hits in, but he's a lot stronger than you are. A lot stronger than anyone his size has any right to be. And you feel it connect, and it pushes you back. Sends you right on your ass. You take, after having, again, only 1 point of superficial damage.
Yeah.
Aster.
Mm-hmm.
Crawling under, you can kind of see the altercation between the two from your limited viewpoint. You see, as you get to the other side, Raleigh goes flying backwards. You see Toad holding the journal, but you don't think he sees you yet.
Aster is not much of a fighter. So in preparations to go to the church, she in fact put 2 little syringes strapped around her ankle, just in case.
You don't say.
Oh, I do say. So she's gonna drive, she's gonna take a moment and like plunge one into her thigh and pull out a lighter.
Give me the rouse check to activate the alchemy first off.
Oh, my beast is with me.
It appears to be. You take one of those syringes and it occurs to you, you've never actually done this in a situation that hasn't been extremely high stress, but, well, in for a penny. Jab it into your thigh, the moment you depress the plunger, every single vein on your body, for just a split second, pulses. Something.
That's weird.
Something like, it's not like before in the switchyard, it's a different feeling. It's heat. It's an angry burning that sears its way through your arteries, not to the point of pain yet, but just this feeling of something angry and volatile that desperately wants to be released, that desperately wants to be ignited.
She will fight through these bizarre feelings, and in fact almost relishes in it, given the immense anger that she is carrying within her at this moment. Calmly and casually walk over to Toad while ripping her wrist open with her teeth and just starts bleeding, like free bleeding, and tries to fling it on him, and then she's gonna light it.
Either Dex or Stamina plus Athletics, I'd say. Been using that pool a lot, but it is technically the pool for thrown weapons, and it is technically a thrown weapon, in a sense.
4 successes.
4 successes. So, just as he rears back onto his feet after kicking Raleigh off of him, he turns around and gets suddenly splattered all over his face and front, but just a streak of your blood that you just sort of flick out at him, and for a moment he's a little shocked, surprised, not really sure how to respond to that. Then you toss the lighter at his feet. Raleigh, maybe you're just hypersensitive to the moment, but Aster's blood smells a lot like gasoline.
Oh.
Interesting fact about gasoline. It's not actually the liquid that's flammable. It's the fumes. So she doesn't necessarily need to hit Toad with the lighter to get the effect she's looking for. As suddenly, all the areas where he was splashed with the blood go up like a Roman candle. Gives out a hideous, bestial shriek, and even you, Aster, are caught a little off guard just how suddenly he catches. You remember Hygeia telling you that this one packed a kick, but, well...
This one packs a kick. Ooh.
Raleigh, I am gonna need a willpower check, though.
1.
You've had too many close calls tonight with, well, open flame, and you are bolting.
Unfortunate.
Aster, you see Toad similarly flailing about. Oh, shit, the journal. He still has it. You could see his boys coming around the bend, and Raleigh is taking off. Lots happening. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get the journal, I guess. I don't know how to do that. Just run and grab, I guess. That's... Yeah.
You have to run, grab, and there's a
Run
There's a
and grab.
non-zero chance that you may get burnt in the process.
Wouldn't be the first time today.
Give me, I'm going to say, Dex plus Larceny.
3 successes.
Toad's in no position to stop you. He's desperately trying to put the fire out, but all that beating at his face and chest is all really doing is spreading the fire to his other hand, as he's still got enough sense to hold the journal away from him. And you snatch it out of his hand and just bolt yourself in any direction other than him. You see the other truckers catch up on him. They quickly try to help put him out, try to douse the blaze, preventing them from coming after either of you.
Do I see which direction Riley ran in? Raleigh.
You do, but the problem is Raleigh is moving very, very fast. Much faster than you.
All right, well, Aster will just run after Raleigh and just fucking haul ass and go.
Alright, so as the two of you are hauling ass, as they say, Ash and Jeremy finally arrive at the airport, or what passes for it.
Excellent. Ash will pull up, get out of the car, And we will head towards. Is there like towards the hangar?
Yeah, you remember it from the last time. Knock at the little side door that you remember Sebastian knocking at a couple nights ago. Opens a crack. And
Hey,
it opens all the way, and you see a guy in mechanics coveralls glowering down at the two of you.
hi there, Ash Crawford, here to speak with the sheriff.
Yeah, Regent told me. You might be stopping around. Come on in. Don't touch anything. You walk into this brightly lit hangar that contains no aircraft, rather. Multiple tables containing all kinds of strange archaeological paraphernalia. And of course, a massive, complicated, most hermetic looking glyph sketched out in the middle of the linoleum floor in what is definitely not red paint. It's around this circle. You can see the sheriff and the regent and Nick all gathered around. They seem to be conversing when all three of their heads snap up to see the newcomers.
Ash makes a pleasant smile. We were told you wished to speak with us.
You're not sure if the sheriff has any expressions other than a somewhat dangerous grimace, but it gets a bit more dangerous looking by at least a few molars. Rafe, meanwhile, very calmly walks around the circle to the two of you. Indeed, I had a feeling you would make your way here at some point, although I admit I didn't expect you so soon after the incident.
We're presently working on reacquiring the item, but we wanted to, in the sense of expediency, also clear this up and, well, learn a little bit more about what this actually is.
That's a complicated question with a complicated answer.
I understand. As much as things are simple, as the years tick along, it stops being simple.
Jeremy, all this stuff laid out. Normally, when you enter into a new space, when you meet new people, that little tune in the back of your head, that sour note, stirs up the band to some new configuration. There's no sound here. And at first that's kind of comforting, but then you realize, no, there is sound, but it's not music. It's more like when you're close to a sinkhole, that sucking noise. When you're close to something that's drawing all the air in to somewhere dark and out of sight, and it's setting your teeth on edge.
Yeah, he's staring directly at it and edging back.
Is there a reason for this interruption? Growls Langford as he approaches. Rafe very calmly pivots and says, "Not at all. In fact, it seems you both have arrived with quite a similar set of questions. How to elucidate? Well, as I was explaining to the sheriff here, and as I explained to you and your compatriots when we first met, The gathering of these artifacts of significance is integral to this particular ritual, as it is a working of sympathetic magic, I suppose you could say. By extracting elements of a thing's nature, you gain mastery over that nature, as above, so below. That is, of course, a very, very simplified version, but I'm afraid that there are some things, as you gentlemen are all aware, that Clan Tremere simply cannot reveal to those outside of the blood.
So all right, that at least makes sense. You'll have to excuse me. Up until a few days ago, I hadn't considered the possibility of actual practical magic.
Yes, I understand it's an adjustment period, and you've had to adjust quite a lot, but yes, sorcery, in a sense, is very real, though not nearly what you might have come to expect from pop culture. Does it have to be an object? Says Langford. Rafe looks at him curiously and eventually replies, the crux of this ritual is the connectivity between the items gathered and the individual they once belonged to. But what if it were, say, someone who once belonged to him? Someone for whom the blood is familiar. You see, he looks over at Nick, who has this very, very dour expression as he starts to walk away. What exactly do you have in mind, Sheriff? 2 birds, 1 stone.
I think referring to Miss Whitebird.
If only. You see, Nick returns. He walked out through the door you guys just came in through. A moment later, he shoves someone forward. Tall, broad-shouldered guy in dirty cargo pants and a tank top that seen better days. He's got a bag over his head and his wrists are tied behind him. Langford puts one claw on this guy's shoulder as he gets just barely outside the perimeter of the circle and then forces him down to his knees and rips off the bag. And you see Mike Phillips.
Ash is going to restrain a flinch upon seeing him.
Looks at him curiously as Mike, you can see he looks like an animal with its leg caught in a bear trap. He's looking around wildly. Is that the sheriff's former retainer? I'm given to understand that he's going into withdrawal. He hasn't tasted the blood in some time, but it's still fresh enough to be of use. And you're suggesting, will it or will it not work? Rafe genuinely seems to ponder it for a moment. Mike, his eyes land on the two of you, and he just says, Please, come on, I helped you. I told you about the cult, please.
Ash will look to Langford and say, he was useful in the investigation to find one of the items.
He's a burnt-out veteran. Vitae withdrawal's already making him a liability. And there are too many loose ends being left behind in this incident as is.
Ash is going to look over at Jeremy and look at his eyes as if trying to mentally, like, gauge how far do you want to go with this.
He looks distinctly uncomfortable.
Ash will step forward and say, I understand that he's a potential liability, but if we could find... We're in the process and we have narrowed down 5 items that we believe will suffice. 3 in the journal, the 2 we have already, and 2 more that we're in the process of hunting down. I would ask that perhaps the sheriff consider that Mr. Phillips be a last resort. And they'll look over to Rafe and say, especially considering the possible volatility of it not being an item, wouldn't want to get this wrong and lose our shot. Ash is hoping that they can at least judge on they can try to toss on a scientific uncertainty on this to try to save Phillips any way they can.
Give me manipulation plus either persuasion or possibly a cult.
And the dice roller says, fuck you. And that is 3 successes on 9 dice with a reroll.
Didn't see Nick the entire time. He's got his arms folded and is trying real hard not to look at this clearly terrified man. Langford just pauses for a second, and then the same hand that was previously on his shoulder, he just grabs Mike by the throat and just squeezes. Not hard enough to break anything, but hard enough that one-handed you start to see his face go red and purple. He starts to cough and splutter, and he's staring you directly in the eye the entire time. I'm given to understand you think you have a certain amount of leniency, Blue Blood, because of who your living relatives are, because of who your sire is. But you're in my jurisdiction now. You have been helpful. Don't push it. See Mike's face go purple, and then he passes out, and Sheriff just drops him like a sack of garbage. What other items?
A good luck charm and a Reaper's Blade.
That gets a reaction.
I was told there might be a story there. Some information that you might be able to provide if you'd be so generous.
Who told you this? Handsome?
Indeed.
Of course. His clan was always better at chronicling than they were actually contributing. You're probably too young to remember, but the 80s in this city were a turning point, sliding off the face of social relevancy, and the vultures found their way in. The Sabbat sect of death cultists, diablerists. People that make me look humane by comparison. And the Reaper was a great warlord among their kind. Decades he harried the fringes of San Arroyo. And not even the great Masav conceivably put an end to him. I put an end to him. I took his trophy, and I drained him to dust.
The way Ansem described it was as if this Reaper was something more. But I also wonder how much of that was artistic license.
Ansem fled. He hid behind his outrage and sense of noblesse oblige rather than contribute to the defense, and all because his precious little territories weren't attracting the same crowds they were in the city's heyday. The only reason he's tolerated is because the strength of his blood, the history he shares with Her Majesty. If it were up to me, he would have been banished. At best. At worst. The night's still young. Maybe he'll try doing something stupid again.
If you were the one who killed the Reaper, why would his blade be connected to Masav?
Because my predecessor was perhaps the closest thing that beast had to a nemesis. Armchair generals like Ansem made such a yarn about the many clashes they had, as though any of that was supposed to excuse the fact that our city was hemorrhaging money and people, all being preyed upon by the shovelheads they sent into our city, marauding through our streets. But now, let's focus more on the great Masav, the noble warrior, the tragic hero. Surely, he'll keep us safe with his flailing.
Makers of history rarely appreciate the ground troops. People in the muck. You said you have it, or that you took it?
It is mine by every right. I keep it as a remembrance, both of my first successful hunt and of my humble ascent.
Ash shrugs and says, well, then I think that would be a rather big ask to make you pass up on it, but Ash looks at Phillips. You seem to have made up your mind already that we have a third in custody, so a third ritual item. So I guess we just need one more. And Ash is saying this all with the intent that they are going to get two more. They're going to get all five before coming back, so that they don't have to, or they're going to try to get as many as they can, so they don't have to kill Mike. But
there's something very feral about him too, but it's different than the white. He's like a thing out of a horror movie. This eloquent, mutilated creature, like something straight out of Hellraiser. But the delight and schadenfreude that lit up in Langford's eyes. Either of you can give me wits plus insight.
3 successes from Jeremy.
4 successes.
Oh, this chip on this guy's shoulder is bigger than either of you imagined. For Langford, Masav going feral is like Christmas and his birthday wrapped up into one. You don't know what exactly happened to make this guy despise the previous occupier of his post so much, but clearly his blood hunt It's exactly the opportunity he needs to show just how better he is. And you're pretty sure he would do almost anything to get that point across.
Ash is going to step forward closer, and they're going to say, "Of course, though, not to be too poetic, but there is a certain narrative irony in using the blade that you stole the best kill the city's seen in the 20th century out from him, and then you use that blade to unmake him. That's the shit they used to film here in Hollywood shit." Trying to, and will shrug and say, just feels poetic, feels narrative, it's cool. And lets you get one last dig in, and you can, sure, Ansel has written the story so far, but you're the sheriff now. You get to tell that story now.
What pool do you would think best for what you're trying to do here?
I think it would be manipulation plus persuasion, because while Ash is trying to be is trying to provoke a reaction, they are not they're not trying to dupe Langford. They're trying to sort of flip this around on them.
You know a thing or two about massaging people's egos. It's not your usual tactic, but it is a tactic that works. Didn't want to go into politics once upon a time.
Yeah. I mean, I would also consider that that this could also be a manipulation plus politics role.
I think politics is more suitable.
All right. 4 successes.
Yeah, that look. For all his grandstanding, you know what this guy is about. This is a guy who likes flexing his authority. What precisely are you proposing?
I mean, if anything goes. If an item can't be acquired, or just need a 5th item and don't want to maybe test the waters of the volatility of a blood that's been diluted through, a guy who's seen purple haze more times than either of us wants to count. The blade gets tossed in. You have a fantastic little story about how the blade that you took as a prize when you saved this city took down the person who should have done the job in the first place.
Fine. I will do this. To show that unlike some, I do not need to rest upon my laurels. However, this is still contingent on you lot acquiring the rest of the items and wringing a location out of that sorry excuse for an elder.
We'll get it.
See that you do.
We've delivered so far. We don't plan on stopping now.
Let me make something very clear. Your resistance in this matter, despite the unorthodox means you were recruited into it, has been noted. But when Masav falls, it will be at my hand. Do I make myself absolutely clear?
Of course. It's your honor after all, and frankly, sounds like it'd be fun to watch. Or at least juicy.
Pardon me, but what about, Rafe just points down to the unconscious Mr. Phillips. I'll take him. Nick speaks for the first time since you got here. I know a thing or two about guys like Phillips. Let me take him in. Langford just shrugs dismissively. On your head be it, hound. Unless there's anything else, I do believe the two of you have quite the busy night ahead of you.
Of course. Thank you, all three of you, for your time. As they leave, and once they have exited the hangar and the door is shut, Ash is going to just, under their breath, fuck, that was really stupid.
Jeremy just reaches up and gives him a clap on the shoulder and nods to the cart. You got this.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Well, I can unclench my asshole now, and yeah, let's go get those last two things. And Ash is going to pop into the driver's seat, and once they're inside and the doors are locked, is gonna like pump their fist. It's like, that went so much better than I thought it was going to go, and I am so glad I have all my limbs.
I'm glad I talked to the sheriff back at the church. I think all things considered, this is for the best. And he's going to reach forward to the radio, and he's going to start playing Relax by Freddie Goes to Hollywood.
Drive
Seems
back
appropriate.
To the city.
All right. Raleigh.
Yeah.
You don't know where you are. It's dark, and you're in a city that you fucking hate, and you just want to leave, and you just want to go, and you're hungry, and you're tired, and you're scared shitless, and the emotional whiplash of just, was that what Crowe was talking about? Is that what she saw? So many thoughts, feelings, all of it in your head. You're back within your body. You're not running away anymore, but you are a whole new feeling of just being overwhelmed is crashing down on you in the absence of that fear.
I'm so tired. Did you say I don't know where I am?
Looking around, and you're pretty sure you're still in the truck stop, but these lots, it's like a maze. It's a big facility. There's lots of these rigs parked out here. You don't know where your damn car is.
Yeah, I still have the keys on me. I'm gonna hit the lock button in hopes that I can hear the beep.
Aster, you've been running after Raleigh like a mad woman. Keep periodically checking behind you if Toad or any of his studs are chasing after you and you don't think so. You see Raleigh just wandering around suddenly, just holding out her keys.
Raleigh just like waves with the journal in one arm, like, Raleigh, over here.
Oh, good. We got it.
Got it. I'm sorry, I should have warned you.
It's okay. It worked out in the end, right?
It worked out.
It was a real stupid decision, but I'm glad it worked out.
It's pretty dumb, but it could have been worse.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just I'm getting real tired of all
Bullshit.
of this bullshit. Yeah.
Real hungry. Oh man, I am so hungry.
Oh, you have no fucking clue. Oh god, if I was still human, I could probably eat my way through the entire In-N-Out menu.
Oh. I just want an emotional support milkshake so bad.
Oh god, yeah, strawberry milkshake would have sounded so fucking good a week ago. Yeah, and I'm just kind of walking and hitting the button occasionally and trying to see if like I can hear my car go bloop.
It's so absurd. You were just a moment ago in a life or death battle with a guy who looks like he's part naked mole rat, and now you're wandering around a truck stop at night because you can't find your car. You're sure there's a lesson in this somewhere, but you're not sure what it is. But eventually, you do find it.
It's been like an hour, right? We should go figure out if... Yeah, and some...
Yeah. We should just figure all of that. We should just head over to the address and she'll like... you'll like fumble around in her pockets for the address.
Oh, yes. Start up the car. Start to drive. Really hungry, but you know, we're going to deal with that later.
As they're driving, Aster will text Ash and be like, with just a thumbs up, and I hope that they understand what that means.
Ash is gonna toss their phone to Jeremy and say, "Can you ask if they're all right? I don't know, just vibes."
I'll shoot. I'll shoot them a text. Actually, I'll shoot Aster a text asking, "Hey, everything good? Been a bit."
Yeah, we're the text back. We're good. Hungry, but that's neither here nor there. We'll figure that out later.
At least I'm prepared for the feeling of withdrawals again. Ugh, God. Ugh.
You all have an address to converge on. Takes you pretty far out. Outside the city limits, point of fact. Just outside the city limits, rather. See, you're driving along. Old, battered side. It says Yorkshire County Municipal Junkyard. An old, rickety chain link fence surrounding basically just massive scrap disposal yard, old cars, decommissioned road signs, the peeling frames of old highway advertisements. Not the sort of place you expected a guy like Anselm to spend his nights.
Nah, TBH, I totally expected this.
Yeah. And before we get out of the car, I will look over at Aster and say, things are making a lot more sense now. When I touched the journal, I saw some shit. You know, like
when Crowe... Okay.
Masav and Ansem were like involved.
Okay. That definitely explains a few things.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what to do with that information, to be honest with you.
It's something, and it kind of makes sense as to why Ansem really, really wants to save Masav, and I can understand the desire to do everything you can to save someone you loved. Just if Taylor was in the same position, I'd do the exact same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, well, let's go in there and meet this person, I guess.
You all arrive there, and isn't there supposed to be like a security guard or something for these sort of things? You don't see anybody on duty. Whole place looks about as derelict as one of these areas can be. The only lights you can see come from the interior of this sort of silo-shaped shed. See, around it are a bunch of these weird-looking sort of abstract sculptures made from various pieces of metal that appear to have been spot welded and molded and shaped into. They almost look like metallic coral in a way. Some of them look half finished, like they're still works in progress. Some of them remind you a lot of some of the installations at the park.
I actually wonder how many statues he's done in the park.
Yeah, it certainly looks like quite a bit.
Four of you walk up the door. You can see light spilling out from underneath it.
Casually knock.
Yep.
The sound of a very heavy latch opening on the other side, and Anselm opens up the door. You can see he's exchanged his old clothes for some much fresher ones, but that's not what gets your attention, Raleigh. You get a look at the interior and you realize you've seen this place before.
It's in my vision.
This pretty much all but confirms it.
Huh.
There's no fridge, no central heating. It's like a combination between a auto workshop and artist retreat and someone's impromptu bivouac. But it's strangely cozy in its own way. I take it your sudden arrival means that things are for once going to plan.
As close as they can. I got the book, though.
Aster will, unceremoniously flop it on a table.
And we've reached an agreement in principle for the Reaper's Blade.
Storyteller, how fucked up do I look? I'm pretty much sitting at a full track of superficial damage.
Yeah, you look like you just got back from a shoot schedule.
Yeah.
Whereupon someone pushed you down a hill covered in rusty knives. And then maybe kicked you in the ribs a few times for good measure.
Certainly feels like they kicked me in the ribs a few times.
I mean, you did kind of go flying across the parking lot.
Went a couple of rounds on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Can't recommend it.
Set him on fire?
You can tell me all about it. I cordially welcome you into my hospitality, he says, somewhat sardonically, though you think the joke might be a little lost on you. Enter freely and of your own will.
Ash snaps their fingers and is like, I know that one.
He looks at you just flatly, like, once again, something else is sailing over his head.
Yeah.
Aster will
Thank you.
take a seat somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna flop down in something that appears to be a chair.
I know you just offered us hospitality, and that's like a really big thing. You wouldn't happen to have anything to sip, would you?
Nothing particularly satisfying. But he goes over to underneath the workbench. He pulls out, looks like a cooler, fiddles with the padlock, opens it up, and on a bed of ice, there's a bunch of look like plasma bags.
I hate how appetizing those look.
I'm not gonna say no.
These don't do anything for me, but I used to have company.
I nod like I understand, because I do understand.
He picks one up and looks at it. They should still be good.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm not in a place to complain right now.
It's dead blood, so my apologies in advance.
You know what? Any other day I probably care, but right now, I'm gonna take one.
Yeah.
At least one.
I'm just gonna cheers.
Yeah. If I can get away with two, I'll take two. But if I can only get away with one, that's fine. That'll. And it's just
Get away with two.
Yeah.
You look like you've earned two.
Yeah. Just, look at Aster as I drink and say it to me like, remember juice cleanses? Not gonna miss those.
Oh, I super didn't miss that. Oh, is that she like points, you know what, and just goes for it.
Yeah,
No
bottoms
thoughts.
up.
Yeah.
There are chairs and a table, although he has to pull something strange and spiky that it looks like he was working on off of said table. And the chairs are eclectic at best, ranging from old wirework things to very tattered looking lawn chairs. And there's not enough for all of you. If he did have guests before, clearly he didn't have this many. He just stays standing.
So, how was your trip? Was it successful? Looking at Ash and Jeremy.
Yeah, Ash convinced the sheriff to find one of the items for us.
Even better.
I'm really impressed that you were able to do that.
He sees where you put the journal and he looks like he's going to pick it up, but he stops. Just closes his fist.
Yeah, it's journal's a interesting little thing. Haven't gotten to take too much of a look at it. I think it's written in some sort of cipher or code. They played a code breaker in a film. Doesn't mean I understand any of it.
Never wanted me looking in the damn thing.
Yeah.
Probably just love poetry. Jeremy looks over and lifts an eyebrow like, what? Why are you laughing that hard? It wasn't that funny.
Oh, explain later.
So just rolls his eyes, just like, oh good, and now we get to this part.
Which part?
The part where you ask the obvious question.
I mean, I don't need to ask the obvious question. I saw it.
I think it's something that's been happening with all of the artifacts.
That's... Did you see him?
Yeah. I saw it through his eyes. I understand why you're doing this. I understand your motivations because if it was me and the person I cared about person I loved was like that, I would do anything. I understand, and I wish there was something we could do. Wish there was anything we could do to help you.
He does sit down then, sort of the edge of the bed at the far end of the room. It wasn't as though it was some great star-crossed romance. We started out as colleagues and lived and worked together for decades, and sometimes we grew together and sometimes we grew apart.
Still, it's so many things made about, so many stories, so many songs, so many plays, movies made about what love does to a person. And it's a real destructive force when it wants to be.
You have no idea.
I know that if anyone threatened Taylor, I would not stop until I destroyed them.
That's supposed to be what makes us stand apart from the other great clans. We still, even the eldest of us, feel that draw to beauty. It comes in different forms for different souls, but we're always reaching out for that great intangible quality that no painter or poet or sculptor has ever really managed to put into words or form. That drives us to do fantastic things. And it drives us to create horrors.
Raleigh kind of tilts her head a little bit, like she's thinking, because it has to be that I'm just, it's only been 2 weeks, but it's like, I haven't felt anything that intense. And, you know, my feelings for Taylor kind of exist before I was a vampire, and I probably would have destroyed someone if they had tried to hurt him before then. So who knows?
My horror is named San Arroyo.
That's certainly something.
Was the first one here, you know? First kindred to ever lay down roots.
Why here?
At the time, convenience. My home was... Napoleon had destroyed it. At first I was just one lone kindred lost among the masses. Came to the New World, so many others did, hoping to get a fresh start. Stryver was the clever one. He realized the value of the borax deposits here long before anyone else did. I just helped facilitate for a time. I was a silversmith before this. I knew a thing or two about luxury goods and who would pay, even in this frontier, for them. And then others came, as they do. And as with the kind, so do with the kindred. Wasn't very long after that I first got company. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that you have to go through this.
I'm sorry.
I really wanted to be mad at you too, but I can't, because now I just understand, just completely understand why you're doing this.
Yeah, same.
I'm not telling you this for sympathy.
I didn't think you were.
I'm trying to, I suppose, impart some wisdom in my role as a venerable elder among our kind. trying to explain to you that even if you do get through tonight, survival is what you have to look forward to. Not living.
Learning
I had
that
a
real
life.
fast.
I had a life before this, now. I had a wife, children. I don't remember any of their names anymore. I don't miss them anymore. I just remember that I'm supposed to miss them.
Yeah, well, I think of a lot of us, if we could have that choice to, not be this, I think I wouldn't have taken it.
I had known what was offered to me when it was offered. I don't think I would have.
Yeah, lots of times I wish I had never taken that Catie movie.
And on a brighter note, because Aster is one of those people. She just looks at everyone and is like, well, can't change it now, but at least I got to meet y'all, and that's pretty cool.
I feel like
Ash will snort at that. There is one thing that we need still beyond whatever Whitebird has.
And that would be?
We still need a location.
I look around this place and say, the location that was important to Masav.
I can save you the search.
Yeah.
Using the flood tunnels to travel around undetected.
I had a fucking feeling.
I might have really pissed off an Nosferatu tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I also
We should
think
all be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I go with the tunnels, or if we go with the tunnels back to the authorities, they're going to say, be more specific. Is there a place that it would have an attachment to, a place it would find refuge?
Maybe near the laundromat?
I can tell you this much. At any given point of the year, there's around 300 to 500 unhoused individuals taking shelter in those tunnels.
Jeez.
A white will concentrate on the largest group of prey because that is old beast demands of it. You all saw that firsthand at the warehouse.
Yeah.
So you don't need to find the white. You just need to find where it's likely to go hunting.
It's either that or we hold another party.
Let's not do that.
I would
Please.
not push your luck with the sheriff at this stage.
Yeah. So yeah, and the flood tunnels around where people gather.
You hear from outside the sound of engine revving.
Ash
Oh, God.
instinctively tenses.
motorcycle.
No. It's not nearly loud enough. It sounds more like a dirt bike. And so just stands up very carefully, clearly still in a fair amount of pain. That would be her.
Anything you can advice you can give? Last minute?
If she's in a good mood, try to be differential. If she's a bad mood, run.
I guess we'll hopefully figure that out really quickly.
You all head to the doorway. Opening up, you see, just outside, woman on a dirt bike, her face obscured by the shadow of some pillar of junk. But you can see her eyes, bright, burning red coals, remind you unsettlingly of another creature that you encountered with those same predatory eyes.